What's up, happy fabricators? In this video we're going to build a crane for my workshop. Whoa. Okay, so a crane is something that I've always wanted in the shop, but unfortunately now it's getting to the point where it's almost more of a need than a want. We're getting ready to build this mini jet boat, and the thing isn't even really that heavy, it's just really awkward to manipulate. So I decided that before I throw my back out multiple times, I'm going to invest a little bit of time and build something that's going to help me out quite a bit in the future. So we're going to build a jib crane. Okay, so as you've seen, we went ahead and got our pole cut down just so I can maneuver it in the shop. What I have here is a 4x4 inch square tube. It's about a 3/16 inch wall, and it was about 18 feet long. Now I decided to cut this thing down to 7 and 11 feet. So 7 feet is what I decided is going to be my rough boom length. It'll be just slightly longer because this and the tabs will push out from the wall, but that gives enough room that we're going to clear the rack when we spin around. And I'm hoping, cross my fingers, that I can almost go from my materials rack over here all the way to the plasma table. It'd be sweet if I could be able to just swing a piece of material all the way over, but that's yet to see if that's actually going to happen. And then with 11 feet left, I should be able to, well, base plate on this thing and go from the floor all the way to the center peak, and we're going to tie in to the upper truss of the building. Okay, so I'm going to throw these parts in some vinegar here. I like to do this if I can plan ahead at least 24 hours. You can let them soak, and then you pull them out and just rinse them off with the hose. And as you can see here, it just rinses it off real good. And then you are left with something like this. So there's a little bit of rust left on it, but all that mill scale's taken off. Now I'm going to take the rest of my bucket of parts here. We're going to clean them up in the grinder. We're going to mark up where stuff needs to go on our upright beam and lay it down and start getting it assembled. So even if you're a professional and need to practice, and I like to have some stuff kept on hand that is similar sizes, so I'm going to run a quick bead on this real quick just to make sure my settings are right. And that doesn't look too bad, but I think I'm just going to turn the voltage up just a little bit to compensate, and now I know I'm ready to go. Okay, so we're going to start assembling our boom here, and this pole that I have is covered in powder coat, so we're gonna have to grind that off in some spots. I don't think I'm gonna clear the whole thing because I'm just gonna paint over it. And then I've got myself a chunk of 2x4 by quarter wall that is going to be our upright. So since we have this plate here, my trolley is gonna run along this square tube, and I don't want to have to grind this plate off, so I'm gonna stick it up against the post side of the beam because I shouldn't need the crane within 1.5 feet of the beam anyways, so it's not going to hurt it to stay there. And then we're going to cut this piece down and stand it up on in here. This is going to be our upright piece, and then we will triangulate that with another piece that goes down to the end. Okay, so we got the back part that our pillow blocks go to all made here, and this guy is going to weld to the arm like so, and we'll do a triangulation strut that goes that way. But I was just thinking, instead of welding that on now, I think I'm actually going to drop my upright pole down and bolt my pillow blocks and spacers onto here, and then use this piece as the fixture to place those tabs. Then I know that it will fit because it'll be assembled to the same piece. I could map it out and measure it out, but I think this will just be more efficient and definitive just to use this piece. And if I wait to weld it on there, it'll be easier to manipulate because it's not on this 7-foot beam yet. Jigged up per se. We're gonna line this guy up on here. Place our tabs, it looks like. Need a second set of hands. That'll hold while I grab something. Or maybe it won't. And there we go. I'm very glad that I used this to weld these pieces on the main posts before I welded the boom onto the end of this. Just made it easier to manipulate, and now I know that these are going to interact with each other properly. Okay, so now that we got this all flipped over, I'm going to make some brackets on here. They'll actually suck up underneath of the cross beam so that this post will be bearing a little bit of that weight. Okay, so this is our final bit here. We got our base plate welded on. And we come over and we've got our 2 tabs for our bearing blocks. And then our brackets down here. Roll this over so you see that. Brackets down here to hold the mezzanine up, or whatever you want to call that up there, just to kind of help assist that single wood post that's there. It's gonna be kind of interesting doing my own, and you guys get the messy shop angle at the same time. Here goes nothing. Okay, now that we got our upright all mounted, it's time to get the boom welded together. So now, before we weld it up, we're gonna make a triangle, because triangles make things strong. Sorry, I'm getting tired. Do a quick trace on this. Then you just snap your fingers, and just like that it fits. If only it were that easy. Okay, so now that I finished the main part of the boom up last night, we're gonna open up the little winch that we bought. Now this is just a cheap little winch. I think it's only rated for like 400 pounds, which I'm not planning on lifting anything more than that with this anyways. But we're gonna see how we can make a bracket and a carriage for this thing to slide around the beam. And there we have it. She's installed on the top, and we tied into the trusses on the roof, and then we're tied in to the little loft section here, and then we still gotta lag our bolts down there. Wow, the shop's messy right now. She swings super smooth. One reason I designed it this way is all my bearings and everything are on the main boom, and in the event that I move, I can take the boom with me and just leave the posts, because the post is basically part of the shop now, and all my bearings and stuff are going to be there, and then I just have to build another bracket to mount it somewhere else. So the other reason I built it the way I did is it's completely captured. The pin goes through a solid piece, whereas if I use the standard pillow block where the bolt flange is on the side, it'd just be going through the bearing, and if the casting on the bearing somehow malfunctioned or broke, this thing could just fall off. Whereas this thing, I've got it double bearinged, and then it's also going through the steel frame on both sides, so nothing's gonna break there. The other thing I kind of did is I actually kind of overbuilt it for what the building can hold up. So I just bought a winch down here, which we'll assemble in just a second, that is only rated for 400 pounds, so that way we can't be pulling the building down. So the winch is my weak link in this case, and then in the future, if I move and get a burlier building and a burlier place to mount it, the boom is already hefty and built, and then we can add a larger winch to it down the road. But that was just kind of trying to future-proof it, just in case I end up moving, I can take this piece with me. Well, it can lift 240 pounds. Okay, so I've had it together and been using it for about a week or two now, and it's been so nice to have in the shop. The little things I used to grunt and pick up, now I just throw a span set around them, pick them up, and whip them around somewhere. So super nice to just be able to maneuver things around the shop. One of the things I want to change, as you've seen, I use those skate wheels and machine them down. Those should be fine, but they're not necessarily load rated by any means. So I went ahead and ordered some load rated wheels to go up there for that. And then the other thing that I think I want to do in the future, probably the near future, is either put a brake on this thing or put some sort of damper on it. Because in using it, the thing swings around super easy. It glides like super duper smooth, and trolley works good. You can see here, but it will sit there and kind of creep a little bit or sway when you're pulling something up. So I either want to put a brake on it or some sort of damper, so you have to put just a little bit of force on it to push it instead of it just being absolutely so smooth. But besides that, I love it. It was a fun project to do. So once again, if you want to see more fabrication content, click some of the links that are going to pop up here. If you want to be notified of upcoming videos, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It's really cool to see the feedback from you guys. I love to hear your comments and feedback on the videos. So if you got something to say, leave it down below and go build something, guys. She's sturdy. It's okay. Whee! Oh boy. Just think, one day my children are going to watch this. Good thing I'm already married.